Hello.
Uh,
No.
Hello.
I'm just getting my guy over to Roll20.
Okay.
I asked you earlier. I don't know if you had time, just to double check that everything for Greyhawk, all of the books were updated. Because again, like I have you gave me access to a bunch of additional books for Feywild, but then for Greyhawk, I don't see those same options.
Yeah, so there are no books for Greyhawk, unfortunately.
I mean, stuff like the player handbook, like that kind of thing.
There is no player handbook for Greyhawk.
Oh, there isn't?
No.
Okay, so
There's
does that mean that I'm...
there's literally, because the Greyhawk setting is an advanced Dungeons and Dragons campaign setting.
Mhm.
So far, the only content that exists for Greyhawk is a 30-page section in the 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide.
Right. But do you have the 2024 Player's Handbook, like for like the
Yeah,
classes?
that's
and,
already
like, the
that's already
subclasses?
set up. That should,
Interesting, because I don't know if I share my screen, maybe we'll be able to see it. Because like I'm not sure what the difference is then between Feywild and Greyhawk in terms of like which rules should be allowed. Like the Player's Handbook is the Player's Handbook, I thought.
it is.
But like it's not coming through for Greyhawk. It came through perfectly last night for Feywild, which is why I was able to make my guy and have him, use whatever rules. But it's not coming through for Greyhawk.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't do anything last night.
Mm.
Come on.
But like content sharing is on for Greyhawk.
Yes. Okay.
And all the books are updated.
Yeah, it should have all the same books that's in. Although I did just notice in my Theros game, apparently Roll20, I guess, did a restore last night because some of my handouts were gone or
Okay, well, yeah,
reverted.
around like I want to say around 11 o'clock midnight. That's when I got access to the like 11 new subclasses, which aren't new. You've had them the whole time, but they just weren't showing for me.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back in here. Well, public access, no. Transfer characters, yes. Unlimited game default settings, content sharing. Compendium. Yeah, that's set, right? Yep, they rolled it back. Hang on.
There was also a bug, like in my bug report, it said that you have to use the save button at the top rather than the one all the way at the bottom for the compendiums specifically. That's a bug. That's a known bug that they haven't fixed.
Really? All right. Well, maybe that's what's going on. Okay. Let's go back into settings. Game settings. Content sharing. Huh. I have no save button at the top.
It would be like I think right next to the. It would it's like the save compendium, rather than like the one all the way at the bottom. So it's like more at the top. It's not at the very top of the page, if that makes sense.
Huh.
I can send you a picture. I think I took one yesterday.
Oh, the save content sharing settings.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Okay, that's done.
And then there's another save button at the bottom. I would just press both just to be careful.
Yeah.
Just to be sure.
All right, try refreshing.
Will do.
All right.
In the meantime, though, I mean, I don't see any reason to hold everybody up. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Man, it's been years since I played on Roll20.
Yeah, they're always making changes. Okay.
No, I've been playing
True.
on Foundry VTT for 4 years now.
Yeah.
So
I actually
that's
have a
what-
Foundry license, but I stopped using Foundry after their 5.5 release essentially shattered everything I had in the game. I understand all that's been fixed, so one day I might go back to it, but it's not going to be anytime soon. Okay.
Sorry, real quick. So while I'm updating this,
Uh-huh.
should I use the 2024 cleric with the 2024 subclass, or like a 2014 cleric with a 2024 subclass?
Don't mix 2014 and 2024. I don't know why, but
they're not inclusive.
yeah, they don't work well together. So if you
Okay.
want 2024 subclass, do 2024 cleric.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So I'll just have to delayed gratification on it. Okay, that's fine. I can do that. But the good news is everything came through, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, I was playing Friday night, a different campaign that I host, and the game actually told me to exit Roll20 like 5 separate times, and you could tell when they do a restore because things disappear, and in this case, one of the characters disappeared. The person was very unhappy.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Well, and they were 4th level druid, so that took a little bit longer than just a 1st level character.
Look at my character features correctly, because I mostly just manually edited everything and then realized, oh yeah, I can drag stuff in. So I had to delete what what I've put in myself for the dragged in features.
That's okay.
Will you be recording the session as well?
Oh, yes.
I'm mostly recording it for the audio file because I would upload it as an MP3 to Lorify. I use Lorify as well as Obsidian for my D&D note taking.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I have Obsidian as well, but I record to grab transcripts, and then I create summaries and I post that in YouTube, and I can also post that in game.
Nice. But yeah, I really like the layout and theme I have for Obsidian because I create like a new theme for every campaign I'm playing. So
Sure.
thank you, Gemini. No, it really helps with the CSS coding and so on.
Okay. So I think both of you have heard my spiel before, because I think both of you are in different campaigns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we the only ones who are going to be playing this campaign?
It's 3 of you now, right?
Yeah.
I believe
Yep.
so.
Yeah. So technically, we have 1 open slot. I'll leave that slot open until we fill it.
Okay.
In the
This is
meantime,
like a session 1 or session 0, so we
This
talk
is-
about our characters.
this is session 0, so we're doing character introductions and or
Okay.
help with character building if we need to. We can, depending on how far we get with characters, we can get the adventure introduction underway. If you think you're finished with your character, I would suggest you read and maybe I have to give you permissions, the Fall of Castle Greyhawk.
Okay. Could you also check it over to see if it's all right and if you agree with the backstory?
Okay. What's your character's name?
Tilguin.
Okay.
Because I was thinking I would give you permission to to come up with my parents, who they are and their backstory. I mean, DMs I hear love having freedom for some of their players' backstories.
Oh, sure. And as information, I do use your backstories.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
It might be a few sessions. One campaign, it was.
I'm not expecting it immediately. Just
Yeah. As an example, in one campaign, guy had he's like farm boy, parents are alive, happy, living on a farm. I destroyed that reality going, yeah, you get a message from your hometown, your parents have gone missing.
Well, mine are dads, and she doesn't have any idea who they are, so
Okay.
should be fun. You can give me a dramatic, tragic backstory.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Is Indiana Jones more of a tavern brawler or more lucky? I'm trying to pick my feet.
Indiana Jones. I'm using that theme too.
He's
Maybe we can
kind
be
of
colleagues.
like a ranger.
Well, I'm doing a Light Cleric, so he like basically delves into dungeons and like illuminates the darkness.
Sure.
But like for the feat, luck is like I can reroll a d20.
Luck
And
would
so like a luck
definitely,
point.
yeah, luck would definitely be uh, an Indiana Jones ish thing.
Right, because then
Yeah.
Tavern Brawler is he like punches people and stuff.
Yeah, but he prefers
So that's
to use his weapons.
that's true. That's a good point. So I'll take luck then. Thanks. Okay.
Yeah, the guy swinging the sword, he just pulls out his gun and shoots him.
That's a great scene.
And my Obsidian crashed for some reason. I guess I have too conflicting plugins in.
I can explain my my guy because I already made him on D&D Beyond. I'm just moving him over to Roll20 for everybody.
Okay.
If you want me to go over that, if we're ready
Sure.
to start.
Yeah, let's go ahead and cover your character first.
All right. So my guy's name is Edmund Jonesy Scott. That's a mix of some of my favorite adventurers. So Edmund Hillary, he's the guy who climbed Everest. Robert Falcon Scott is the guy that was second to the North Pole. Sorry, to the South Pole. Maybe it was the North Pole. I don't know. And he died. It was the South Pole. But he died on the way back. So a very tragic story. He's like an Indiana Jones kind of style character. Greyhawk is very like fantasy, I think, and like crypts and stuff. So he like delves in looking for like lost artifacts. For his god, who is the god of light. So he's part of a group called the Riders of Pelor. That is his like clerical sect.
Okay.
What's his name again? So I can put it in my notes.
Edmund. Well, his name is Edmund Scott, but everybody calls him Jonesy. Or not everyone. Some people call him Jonesy, like only his close friends. But you can call him Edmund or just Scott or Jonesy, whatever, or Professor.
Okay.
So, Tilguin, you want to cover your character? Your backstory's
Yeah,
fine, by the way.
cool. Well, she's an orphan that doesn't know who her parents are, as I already said. She was in an orphanage until she was 10, and then she was adopted by a field agent of the Seekers of the Arcane because she loved gathering knowledge, learning languages. It also, if your character is older, she might have read some of his books and got hooked to the lifestyle. So she wants to be an archaeologist. She's an archaeologist as well. So yeah, and she had a nice childhood with her adoptive father so far. I mean, it's hard to tell everything in a short few words.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then I think our last one is Evander.
Yep. I
So-
have no idea about his backstory. I haven't
that's
thought of
okay.
anything. I made him like half an hour before before the other game or
Sure.
something like that.
So, class,
But
race.
I have he is a paladin who will, when we reach level 2, be also a sorcerer. And so for now, just paladin. He is an aasimar that looks mostly human. The only like interesting visual that might say that he's an aasimar is that his hair is
Emo?
blonde with streaks of brown in them, like blonde with streaks of brown. Like when I just found this image, like when I was doing my trip earlier, like I was just looking for images and found that image of my character. what became my character, and now I have decided that his hair was originally brown, and when his lineage awoke within him, most of his hair turned blonde with streaks of brown remaining within it.
Nice.
Aasimar are so cool.
Yes. Also, I didn't get a response to the quick direct message I sent you
So good. Yep.
earlier, Tony.
Also, I just remembered I forgot. Tilguin is a high elf, fighter champion, arcane trickster rogue multiclass. So
I'll say sure.
Nice. Sure. Okay, that works. Through the plate armor, or would he have to have holes for it?
He'd have to have slots for it.
Okay. I'd say he would have it in his clothes and just wear a cape that hides them.
Sure.
But he wears full plate and has a shield.
Okay.
Did you get the image so you can make a token when I added it to his character sheet?
Okay, so you want a token different than what you have?
No, I'm asking if you got the image so that you
Yeah,
can make
if
the
you
token.
if you've already put it into your character sheet, I don't need to.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'll just never mind then.
Okay.
So
If you want me to draw something, I can. It'd just take a minute.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay.
I also made some macros for my attacks because I really dislike the windows, the
Yeah,
hit and damage. So I'll just
that's fine.
pop up a longbow if that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it asks me if I roll normal advantage or disadvantage, and later on if I do add a sneak attack.
Okay.
So it looks like this. It just gives you the roll, the damage, and the weapon mastery.
Sure.
By the way, he has the criminal background, so he grew up amongst thieves and people who do a little bit of skullduggery.
Okay.
What's his name?
Evander Rond,
Evander. How do you spell?
R-O-N-D. I can just put it
MD?
in the chat.
Yes, please.
Okay.
There.
Thank you.
Great. So there's a quick drawing for your aasimar paladin with wings.
Huh.
If-
I need to pick. One thing I did not do before on my previous character was pick cantrips and spells. I was
Okay.
wondering if you had any suggestions for. I think I get the light cantrip kind of by default as a
Sure.
light cleric. So other ones that I could take would be like Sacred Flame, which I
Sacred
like,
Flame's a
'cause
good one. Toll the Dead is also a good one.
I have prestidigitation for racial, but
that's
otherwise,
now.
I'm gonna be mostly have
Mine-
utility
what?
stuff as when I get to the rogue leveling,
Sure.
like
The-
identify and so on.
The spells that my character has is not showing up. That's odd.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
So
That is not what I wanted to do.
there are 4 cantrips that do not require sight to attack a creature. Those are Thunderclap, Sword Burst, Word of Radiance, and Poison Spray.
Interesting. I can get all those as
Poison
cleric.
spray. Isn't it like a cone? Like a
Yeah,
line?
I think that one's a cone or a
Yeah.
line or a circle or something.
Yeah. You know, they basically have to be within 10 feet of you, but you don't have to see them. Thunderclap, you can cast while in magical darkness.
Uh-huh.
So, just a thought, I would at least have one of those.
Poison spray, I don't think I get. At least not as a cleric.
Okay.
Same with Thunderclap. But as a wizard, you definitely can get both.
Yeah.
I'm not a-
Mm.
Maybe the Radiance, Word of Radiance.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Huh. My Divine Smite and the Cure Wounds aren't showing on my sheet. Okay.
So I have Sacred Flame and Word of Radiance. Should I take like Bless or something, or like
Bless is a good one. And Bless
I'm
is
trying to think of
always
like
good.
Indiana Jones themed like
Uh,
spells. Like Toll the Dead, maybe.
yeah.
Could maybe work.
Jones themed
Thaumaturgy.
cleric.
Evander is the one missing your spells, or is it? Yeah.
I just added them back.
Okay.
But yes, I did. I was missing my spells. I don't know why.
When did you add them?
When I made my character.
What time? Today? Yesterday?
Today, like
Okay.
half an hour before we started the Feywild campaign, I think, something like that.
Okay. I'm trying to keep track of when stuff is disappearing. Because this all started last Friday, I think it was. Like 3 of my source books disappeared.
Huh. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I've owned the 2014 rule books since 2014. And last Friday, they completely disappeared from my marketplace.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and it took me 2 days of arguing with Roll20 support before I got any of it back. because I had to basically I had to track down an email from 2014 to prove that I owned.
How about the guidance spell? I can like assist my teammates.
Guidance is
Ooh, that would be
also
handy.
that is also a really good spell. It ranks right up there with Bless.
Okay, so Sacred
Ooh,
Flame,
maybe I
Word
should
of
have
Radiance, Guidance.
Ooh, maybe I should have chosen bless.
Guidance
Oh,
is a
yeah,
must
I thought
for for
cantrips.
anyone that can learn guidance, I think.
Yeah, guidance is good.
Okay. So I've got Detect Magic for my spells. I can take like Purify Food and Drink if you think that would be good.
That is also a good one to have. Especially in the Greyhawk setting.
Hmm.
Oh, really? I didn't think about that. The guy who's playing as an aasimar, I don't remember your name. I'm so sorry. I think
Cody,
it's
you can
Cody.
just call me Cody. Yeah.
Okay. Does your aasimar have Cure Wounds?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, as a cleric, you can always like prepare your spells as needed, so you don't have to panic about choosing it fine for a final spell. I think clerics and druids can prepare and wizards can prepare their spells, right?
I know wizards can.
So I
I don't
think
know if it's my
bards
level.
can as well in the 2024 rules. Not sure though. Maybe in a further update.
Detect Magic, Cure Wound. I don't know. Is Detect Magic that good?
Mm-hmm.
It can be useful.
Yes.
Right. I know. Of course, it can be useful.
It
I'm just wondering if I'd be better served by like a damaging one instead.
Depending on how high your arcana is, it could be very useful to you.
and there's also here's something important about detect magic. If you are in a location and you're searching for treasure, detect magic can be highly valuable.
Especially if there's a magical weapon or item.
Yeah,
Or a magical trap.
also very good.
Well, Indiana Jones does look for a lot of treasure, so.
And he does look for traps.
And yes, and traps.
Okay, so we have an archaeologist that looks for traps and treasure, and then we have an archaeologist that looks for his history, lore, and artifacts for amusement. So that's a nice combo to have.
And at
Wait, is one of
least
you an archaeologist?
I'm I have my background as an archaeologist.
Ooh, we're going to get along.
That's
On
what
this
I said.
campaign. Excellent. Okay, so I need one more spell. So I have Detect Magic, Cure Wounds, Purify Food and Drink. All very good. For
and
adventuring.
Give it to
as
people who need skill wounds.
well, there's also healing potions. So
Yeah.
I guess I can always. But I think you only get it once per short rest, right? Or long rest.
what cure wounds?
Yeah, because Cody, it's baked into his race, but
Yeah,
I thought there was some kind of limitation on it.
probably.
I don't know how common you plan to make healing potions.
It's a high magic campaign, so they're going to be fairly common, at least the regular healing potions.
Maybe we don't need. That's not really what I went for. Like, the other guy, I took Cure Wounds because he's like a doctor. But on this deep, perhaps.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Makes sense.
Hero
And-
Wounds is so good in 2024 rules.
You are going to also have an NPC wizard as info.
Nice.
He's kind of a bumbling old guy, but he'll be tagging along.
Wonderful.
At least until you guys pick up the fourth player. His name is Banfizz.
Banfizz. Okay. How much do heal potions heal for?
25% of your hit points.
Oh, so it's not even dice based. It's literally just like.
It's percentages.
That was explained in the it was explained in the house rules in the last campaign to us. If you don't
Right.
remember.
I didn't have it up in front of me, so I couldn't check it.
Thank you.
But I have
Yeah,
read that.
but it is in the house rules, so 25% of your hit points is basic, right?
Yes. And those potions cost 50 gold pieces.
What is the Hallow spell?
Doesn't it hallow a place to make it?
Vampires, stay out.
Cave fiends and no. Fiends.
Because I'm between detect good and evil and protection from good and evil.
Well, I would get divine sense eventually as one of the spells I can learn, and I could. That is basically detect good and evil, isn't it?
Sounds like it.
Well, divine sense is slightly different than detecting good or evil. It detects
Oh, right. Right. Sorry.
undead and deities and demons. But its divine sense is not going to detect an evil elf per se.
Okay, you know what, I'll
Right.
take protection from evil and good. That just seems like the better.
I don't know. It's for me personally. It feels a little odd to do evil and good. It feels more right to say good and evil.
Agreed. I mean, that's just what it's called, though. I mean,
Yes, I know, but it feels. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
can't argue with you there. That's very fair.
Hmm.
Okay.
It
Cool.
feels more good to do protection. What was the spell again? Protection of good and evil.
No, I get to pick my gear.
Yay!
I'm very excited. Okay. I don't love that. Would you let me swap out my mace for a warhammer?
Sure.
I have the martial weapon proficiency.
Okay.
You'd be okay with that?
Yes.
Awesome. I intend to use my warhammer with the spike on the back as like a climbing pick.
Question that I just remembered: is ammunition counted or not?
Ammunition?
Yeah.
Yes.
Arrows and
Yes, I do track ammunition. What I do not track is your food, your daily food.
okay. Okay.
Okay.
As adventurers, I do generally, my thought process on this is if you've gone adventuring, at that point, you've already known how to feed yourself off the land.
Yeah.
So we don't have to like forage or stuff during adventures?
No.
You
Okay.
can just say we go like before we
That's,
put
yeah,
up
part of
camp,
your
we go
setting up
foraging.
camp thing. Yeah.
Gotcha. An order devoted to
I do track encumbrance.
And ammo, how much of it can be gotten back after a fight? Like half of it?
Oh, you mean like your treasure?
No, my arrows, like after a combat,
Oh,
if I
yes.
lose like 10 arrows, how many do I get back after?
So you'll actually make a saving throw, um, and that'll determine whether you can recover all or half.
Okay,
Or if you roll a 1, none.
okay. And which saving throw is that, just so I'm aware?
So it's going to be a d20.
Mhm.
You have to roll a 10 or higher to recover all. Anything below a 10, you recover half, unless you roll a 1.
Okay. Would I be able to learn in the future or like in between how to craft my own ammo? Like when we set up camp, I go collect wood and feathers. Like if we find any nests and so I can make my fletch my own arrows. Maybe a D20 roll for successes.
There's actually a feat for that. Or a skill, I could say. Let's see. Oh, I take that back. 2024, they got rid of it. So technically, you would need woodcarver's tools.
Okay. And we need proficiency or do I learn on the job?
There is no proficiency for it.
Okay.
So here's how we're going to handle that. And we'll put this in house rules. At level 1, 20% of your attempts will yield an arrow. As you increase in levels, you will gain 20% until you reach 5th level, at which you'll be able to craft arrows on your own without issue.
Cool. And how far are we going to go level-wise?
Potentially 18 to 20.
Cool. So I know how to build it on
Sure.
D&D Beyond.
Okay, yeah. During college, I may have to evaluate like what days of the week I'm available
Sure.
because playing 5 days a week, with classes and stuff throughout the day may not be possible.
Yeah, I understand it.
But I would like to continue this, so in some way.
Sure.
So we'll figure that out.
Mm-hmm. On my end, the games are actually like the Feywild game is at 6 p.m. for me, and this game is at 8 p.m. for me, at least starting time. So it's totally fine
Same
for
for
me.
me.
I'm available most days unless I'm doing something that drags it out to that interferes with the game time.
Okay.
Same.
As long as you guys kind of let me know what's going on. I think I didn't explain this in the last one, but if you guys let me know ahead of time, then usually there's no problem whatsoever. If you do not let me know and I don't hear from you for a week, your character will be set aside. And if I don't hear from you for 2 weeks, your character will probably suffer a horrendous death. So, communication's a good thing. Just let me know.
Will do.
Um,
Okay. Oh, it says I have 2 unfinished steps. What did I do wrong? I don't think I picked my languages. I think that might be one of the steps.
yep, so that's one of them.
How many do I get?
Depends on the character. Like,
What's
And
your
depends on
intelligence
the
score?
character, species, background,
Yeah.
and class,
So my
maybe.
so my class is cleric. My background is sage, and
then you
my species is human.
then you should have 2, I think, additional languages on top of common. 2 or 3, something like that. But if you go to should be in one of the last.
Is there a way to get back to the builder once I've?
Not generally. That may have changed with the new character sheet.
You could just click level up and not level up, and you can still interact with the character sheet, and it will allow you to go to build character without leveling up, even though you click level up. Anyway, in
Sorry,
the
if I
about
use...
should. So if you click on level up in the character sheet, if you want to go back, it will allow you to change stuff without having to actually level up. But in the about section, the last step is where languages are.
Okay. Yep. Found it. Thank you.
And also, if you click the thing in the middle, it'll show you green if it's complete and yellow if it's missing something.
Yeah, I just overlooked that. That was my fault. And okay. And now I'm done.
Great.
Okay. Cool.
You should also probably make a copy of your character in case you want to use it for something else.
Yeah. Although I don't own all the books, so I don't know if it's gonna let me copy over that stuff.
Oh, probably not. I just used the stuff that I already have so that I can just copy and it won't be an issue.
Right.
Because the DM will manipulate the character sheet if necessary.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I'm good then. Cool.
Have you added it to the campaign? Your
Yeah,
character?
he should be in there.
Okay.
Tony, can you see that?
Yeah, I see your
Only
character
you can
sheet.
see your character.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, sorry that took so long, guys.
No, that's all right.
That's fine.
No wonder.
Because we'll actually be able to start adventuring tomorrow. Not 100% sure we'll be able to do that in Theros yet. But we'll get there. In the meantime, as I said, you can read about the fall of Castle Greyhawk. And I put up the map of the city of Greyhawk if you want to explore that. And I will see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
All right.
See you
Bye,
tomorrow.
guys.
Bye, guys.
Stop.